Welcome to episode 4 of season 2 of Our Darling Town, the podcast where we explore the heart and soul of Darlington through its local independent businesses and the people that make it special. I'm James Carver alongside my brother Henry, and we're here to shine a spotlight on our beloved town. Join us as we sit down with passionate local people to delve into their stories and uncover the unique contributions they make to our community and find out more about the town where we live. Get ready to be inspired by the people and stories that make Darlington truly special.
Well done. I didn't think you were actually going to get through that.
Well, I've got a sore throat, so I said just before we started recording that I'm just going to be silent the entire...
Yeah, literally those are the last words that you said before the intro. You went, I'm just going to be silent this episode. And then you come out and nail that, so well done. Bravo.
Thank you very much. And we were filming yesterday as well, weren't we?
We were filming yesterday, yeah, little sort of introduction videos for our sales team or sales valuers at Carver's.
Yeah.
So, I look forward to seeing those edits.
Getting a few more of the team behind the camera.
Yeah, it's a daunting thing. We're kind of getting used to it now, aren't we? But still, it's
still not getting
still
used to
not.
it. Still not.
Yeah, but yeah, for those people who haven't done it before, it is a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a bit daunting.
Absolutely. How was your CrossFit competition? The fans, the listeners want to hear.
The listeners want to hear. I'm sure they don't. It was.
Can I just, before you say anything here, I asked Henry on Saturday night how it went, and he literally went, it was a 3-day competition, and he went like event by event, and it probably took about 2 hours.
Right.
And then the next day, he just sent me like a 20-second video that was a summary. Like, why didn't you just send me that video? It would be a lot easier.
Yeah, Helen, your wife, said, that would have been a lot more of a succinct summary.
Yeah.
But no, you did ask me specifically what were the workouts.
Yeah, I did.
And I had to tell you every single rep, every single workout, and we all did extremely well, and it was just an incredible event. And I will be going next year. There's no two ways about it. What have you been up to? Anything exciting?
I've had a brilliant last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Went to York races last
Lovely.
week. Was invited by some local solicitors, Clark Willis, who are in Darlington. So we got the train down. My sister-in-law works for Clark Willis, so we got the train down and had an afternoon's racing at York and a couple of pints of Guinness.
Yeah. Any bets? Any winners?
A few bets. I think I won about £3.50, but then lost probably about £30.
Net loss.
Net loss. Yeah.
27 quid or whatever.
Yeah, but it was really good. It's a great race course, and it was nice.
Yeah. And tell me what you're doing at Barney School.
I got invited back for an industry day.
Yeah.
So it was like an apprentice style event with lower sixth formers.
As in the TV show?
Sorry, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So are you Lord Sugar in this? Or?
No, I was a mentor. There were 9 teams who were sort of old boys or people with connections.
So you're Nick. Or what's the other name?
Yeah.
So Karen?
Karen was one of them.
Okay. Yeah. More likely Karen.
So that was interesting. So I had a team, and we had to develop a product and market it, if you like. Mm-hmm. And the main thing I took out of it, that these kids just want to be on TikTok the whole time. That's all they wanted to do, is make a TikTok video.
Genuinely.
And the presentation out of the 9 different teams, every one of them, their marketing strategy was just TikTok.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
I need to get myself involved then.
Yep.
And who was the ultimate winner? How did you get on?
Oh, it was one of the Athers, I believe, that managed to win.
Tom or Jack?
Yeah, not sure which, but yeah, it was.
They are twins.
It was very good fun. Very good fun.
Yeah.
We had a Carver catch up as well.
Yes.
Last Wednesday, which was really good. So it's when we get all of the team together, and have a bit of a social, and we get to update everybody. And thanks to Tom at Hideaway Pizza, who opened early for us to cook us some brilliant pizzas.
It was. Yeah, they're huge, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're very delicious. So
I think we had like 5 pizzas between 25 of us or something. So it was, it was
very good.
It was good.
Well, listen, our guest has literally just walked in the door, so should we wrap up the preamble and get cracking?
Absolutely.
Okay. We are thrilled to have Darrien Wright with us, a professional dancer and the visionary behind the upcoming charity event, Strictly Step by Step. After shooting to fame in 2006 by winning TV's Strictly Dance Fever, Darrien is bringing his expertise back to the stage on November the 9th at the Dolphin Centre in Darlington. This exciting event will feature local male contestants paired with professional dancers, all coming together to raise funds for 5 charities with a goal of £10,000. In addition to his dance career, Darrien has performed in musicals at Darlington Hippodrome for the Darlington Operatic Society and even shared the stage with Kylie Minogue. He's also served as a councillor at Darlington Borough Council, demonstrating his commitment to his community. Having faced his own mental health challenges, Darrien is dedicated to using his passion for dance to make a positive impact. Join us as we explore his inspiring story and the motivation behind this incredible initiative.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
That was an intro, wasn't it?
How was that?
And that was brilliant.
Was it all factual?
That was all factual.
Okay,
yes.
let's get down to what the listeners want to hear.
Yeah.
Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue.
You're a big fan?
Absolute icon. So, yeah, there was a reason behind why I got into dancing.
Yeah.
So just loved the music, loved her in Neighbours, and just begged my mum to take me to watch her. And I was 6, Whitley Bay Arena, went and watched her, and I just said to her, one day I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And then the week later I was in a dance class.
Really?
Yeah. And it was just one of those things, and obviously through the 90s and then going into the early 90s, then she come back with a massive smash. But I was just like, no, who's your favourite singer? Kylie Minogue, Kylie Minogue. And at this point, her music was up and down, and then she come back with Spinning Around, and everyone was like, oh my God, you've loved her, from the start. And I was like, told you she's nice. And then, I met Danny when I was on Strictly, and I got to the final, and Danny performed, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in a room with a Minogue, oh my God. And I got to speak to her, and then, I got set up to do a crazy karaoke, and then whisked down to London. Before you know it, Kylie walks out on the stage, which actually on the TV show, I obviously knew where I was sitting, and I'm just in shock that even Kylie's there. And I'm like, obviously I've been to concerts and stuff, so I'm being in the same room as her, but I was so close, and I was just like, what is going on?
So tell us, what TV show was it?
So it was the Michael McIntyre Big Show.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
So I was set up in Newcastle to go, and I said it from the start, I'm a dancer, not a singer. And they got me up on karaoke. We'd all had a few drinks, and they
Right,
asked
so
me.
this is the bit where they're basically, they've got hidden cameras
Yeah.
in a karaoke bar.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to do with the show at this point.
Yeah.
You're just thinking you're having a casual,
I was out with my
Saturday night
friends.
out.
Yeah, I was out with my friends, and they'd said they're doing a promo in there, and it was all Kylie themed. So obviously that's why we were there. And I was like, absolutely. And then someone kept on coming over saying, right, what are you going to sing? And I was like, oh, don't sing. I just dance. No, you just sing. I've heard you're a massive fan. So I got up, sang, Can't Get You Out My Head. And then I just remember my best friend being at the front going, just dance. So I just started dancing. I was like, oh God. And then obviously took down to London. I just got told off a friend that we were going to watch a show. We'd got tickets to go see a show. And I was like, oh, cool. Great. Went, and then Kylie walked out. And then all of a sudden, Michael just kept on coming over and closer. And then a couple of people it happened to where they stood up. And I was like, oh, God, I know what's going on here. And then he walked past me. I thought, oh, my God, I've got away with that. And then reversed and was like, right, here we are. And then, And then all I remember, I kept on saying sorry to Kylie. I'm really sorry. I've murdered this song.
You've butchered it.
I've really, really killed this song. And I kept on saying to her, I'm a dancer. And then Michael was trying to talk to me. And I just remember hearing her saying, oh, I want to cuddle. I was like, I'm out of here. I'm straight up. And ran straight on stage.
Oh,
and I remember
incredible.
just obviously she cuddled me, and I just was like, oh my God, you're my icon. Total, not chill at all. I was like, a fangirl in her. And then I said, I know the dance. And she was like, all right. So I started doing it. But obviously when we watched it back, obviously it's edited. But she stopped me. And I thought, oh, she's kicking me off the stage. She's like, right, come over here. And I'd done it with her.
Oh,
so I did a
amazing.
little iconic dance with it. I mean, it lasted 20 seconds, but that is me
That is
being
the
on
moment.
stage.
Yeah.
Danced with Kylie.
That's the absolute
So,
pinnacle.
yeah.
I was
2000.
thinking that you were sort of like a backing dancer or something for like a little part, but there was you two on stage
Just me and her
sporadically.
band,
Amazing.
just doing that. 2,000 people on a West End stage. I was like...
On the
talk about-
BBC primetime show.
Yeah. And it keeps... When they do highlights and things, it was on not so long ago. I was sitting watching it with my mum, and I popped again. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, there I am again. There's
Fantastic.
Kylie.
But that's
Yeah.
not the first time you've been on TV. You've been on... Did you mention Strictly before?
Yeah, so I did sister show to Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah.
Ours was called Strictly Dance Fever with Graham Norton.
Yeah.
So I auditioned for that when I was 20. My friend, who I've known for years, won it the year before. My mum was going, "Well, just do it." My mum's like a massive, like, "Come on, you can do it."
Yeah.
Like, believed in me before I believed in myself. And she was like, "Just do it. Just see how far you get." And yeah, I went and won it.
Fantastic.
80,000 people auditioned, and
Oh my goodness.
got whittled down. And it was before social media. Really strange time, because it was one of those where we got put into a dance mansion. You didn't see friends and family unless it was the weekend for the live shows. So you're constantly doing press, media.
Yeah.
A 20-year-old, like, living away. I'd been at uni and had my uni life, and then thrown into this whole living with random people. I went to uni with my best friend, so I knew I already had someone there with me. But yeah, danced every week in front of 6-7 million people, which I still find really baffles my head. And meeting all these different singers. There's people on there like Beverly Knight, who I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Just walking up to you, chatting away, and I was like, wow. And then obviously, because we were the main thing on the night, like Strictly is, but even though the behind the scenes and stuff, I've made friends for life. I still speak to a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of the professionals, and obviously changed my career.
Yeah.
So I ended up going into the West End straight from winning that show, and yeah, still in touch with a lot of them. My dance partner Holly, I've never, like, there's no one that's been through that experience with you exactly how that happened apart from her.
Yeah.
We're still really, really close, to speak all the time. We flew out to Zurich and Vienna to do a big show over there that we hadn't done. Like, we hadn't danced together for a while, but we ended up traveling all over just with each other. So that was like another thing for the memories.
Yeah.
It's crazy, I think, looking back, to say I'm nearly 40 and I'd done that when I was 20. So it's crazy, but I mean, my mum still watches it all the time. Like, constant,
on
or
repeat.
talks about it all the time.
So you mentioned the reason that you got into dancing and the age that you got into dancing. Where exactly did you learn your craft, so to speak?
So I went to a local, it was a group, Eastbourne Generation, and they did it just up Yarm Road, and my brother's friend's sister went. So my mum said, right, come on then, we'll go there. Stayed there for a couple of years, and I wanted to do more. I wanted to compete. I wanted to learn different styles. So I went to a dance school over at the Art Centre, Pam Talentires, and did rock and roll, ballroom and Latin, freestyle. Absolutely loved it. But the more I got into it, the more I wanted to progress and go bigger. So I ended up moving schools, which was quite a weird time for me. So I moved schools over to Middlesbrough, to Anita Brown's. I was the only guy dancer who danced in Darlington at the time. She had more guy dancers, and a male teacher who at the time, he danced when I danced, but obviously he was older than me. Darren Carlos, and he still is an icon, like absolute legend in the dance world. Just his style, like his attitude, like everything about it. Like, I look up to him now, and like he's a judge and everything now, and I still, like, he's up there. Not up there with Kylie, yeah. But, he's
Not
up
quite
there,
approaching the wall.
yeah. But he's up there. So I went over there, and Anita was a part of my life when I went through a lot of things with family trauma and things like that. So it was always something special. But since obviously leaving her, I end up, she's one of my close friends. So it's really nice to now have that relationship. Or I judge a lot of competitions, so I can go away with her and judge and things like that. But I left dancing to go to university. But since I was 13, I used to always travel to Scotland, because I was really close friends to a girl called Lynn, and her brother Alan. And it just happened that their mum was this huge dance teacher in Scotland who was getting a huge name in the UK. And she used to just say to me, come on, get in class. Come on, get in class. And then one day she said to me, why don't you come back to dancing after I'd like stopped? Come back. I want you to dance. And I was like, yes, I want to dance again.
Yeah.
And turned me into the champion that I was. And never done stage before. And she was like, I'm going to put you on stage. And I just used to go into the studio with it and just absolutely love it. And I speak to her every day. So it's one of those where the dance life turns into, like, it's your family as well. And yeah, I was her son's best man at his wedding, and just been to Ireland with her daughter, and I'm literally on the phone, me and her, especially through lockdown.
Yeah.
Jesus, teaching in lockdown was hard,
Yeah.
having kids in the kitchen and all sorts. But me and Jill, yeah, on FaceTime,
Fantastic.
non-stop,
Brilliant.
making routines up and getting each other through life.
Tell us how the transition came about between being the dancer to becoming the teacher.
So I found it really a natural way of doing it. I think it's because, especially with Jill, I've always been there, and even though I was her student, I was a part of her family, so I got to see that side of things. And just always wanting to help. And even now, like, I find teaching one of the biggest, like, gifts that you can give someone, just even with confidence and things like that. And I run a dance school in Darlington for 12 years, and absolutely some of the best memories I've done. But a lot of the memories were seeing children walk in that didn't want to even speak.
Yeah.
And then the year
Giving
later,
that
they're on the
confidence.
front of the stage with all this confidence, or going off to dance college and now being a professional dancer themselves, winning these big competitions. Like, that to me, I find is the best part of being a teacher. And the two girls, because after COVID, I was going through a lot of things personally, and just the change of direction of my life, what I wanted to do. I wanted to step away from the dance school. And there was two girls coming up. One was a student teacher, and one was her sister, who was still competing. And I taught them since they were young. And they were like, right, we're ready to take the challenge on. We've got big shoes to fill, but would we be able to take on the school? And I was praying they'd ask me, but I didn't want to ask them. I didn't want to put that on their shoulders.
Yeah.
But the day they asked me, I was absolutely buzzing.
Yeah.
And they carried on Dance Right Studio,
Fantastic.
Annalise and Olivia. And absolutely, they make me so proud. Every time I go and support them, I'll pop in the studio, just absolutely killing it. And the level that they're at.
Yeah.
And they've just got the heart and the passion. And I can see myself in them, as in, it doesn't matter what age they are, what level or ability they are, they just love teaching. And I think with the results and the students doing so well around the country, it goes to show you how passionate they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You've got to be passionate. You've got to, if you're giving that much time and effort to something, you've got to
absolutely.
it's got to be a passion.
Yeah, absolutely.
You casually dropped in the conversation, and I didn't pick up on this, that you've actually been on the West End as well. So
Yeah.
tell us what you performed in, and tell us how that came about.
So after Strictly, one of our prizes was to go into Footloose, the musical, in the West End.
Brilliant.
So after we won, went along, met the cast, watched it, blown away, just incredible show. And at the time, there was a little, he wasn't unknown, Derek Hoff, who you watch this guy sing, dance, act, he's just like, wow. And then getting to work with him, and I knew he had a really big Latin background, and obviously I love Latin and ballroom as well, who now is one of the biggest superstar dancers in the world, and he's huge. He's now a judge on Dancing with the Stars in America, but he's won that God knows how many times. But yeah, just we done that, and again, it was just one of those. I was living the moment, and that's how and that's how I always say, like, if it's about travel or if it's about performing, it's about taking in. I'm not one of these that will film everything. Or if I go to a concert, I never get my phone out because I want to be in the moment.
Yeah.
And
You're in the minority, unfortunately.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I went through, I was 21
Yeah.
and I was on the West End stage. And after we'd done that, the director really enjoyed us in that show, but obviously it was fully cast. We went in as guests, and then I got a phone call saying, Fame the musical's going out on a UK and Ireland tour. Would you be interested? I was like, oh yeah, just let me know when the auditions are. No, we're asking, would you like to do it? What?
You've had your audition, you've been on the stage.
Like, wow. So, and it was one of those, again, a really surreal moment, pulling up to a theatre, having the Fame banner all over, starring Darrien and Holly. And I was like,
no way.
So yeah,
wow.
at 21, 22, it's just, and I'm just a guy from Darlow that like loves to dance. I was never in it for like, people like, oh, you're not going to go into these big parties and photo shoots. And I went in to dance. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I've ever wanted to do. Meet Kylie. But all I ever wanted to do was dance. And I just kept on finding it really surreal. But I think because I didn't go on stage until I was around 19, when Jill put me out, and she used to just chuck me on stage, do what you want, go.
Yeah.
A group of girls dancing behind me, I've told them you're going to make whatever up. And all right, okay, you just have to do it. Being on stage in front of thousands of people every night, like I really truly felt that's where my heart was. So hence like going from show to show, even things I've done panto at Darlow, me and Zoe Burkett, and because I've known her since we were kids, because we go back to our dancing days, sharing the stage with someone like that who's your friend, but in your hometown.
Zoe on Pop Idol, was it Pop Idol?
She was on Pop Idol, yeah. And then she's just got an incredible career. She's in the West End now, playing Tina Turner. Like
that's amazing.
Yeah. So, but she's someone who I've always looked up to, even though like we're the same age and like we've gone through a lot of things the same. She went on the TV to do the singing thing, and then I went on to do the dancing thing. Yeah. Just her work ethic and stage presence, and her fight is just incredible. And it's always something that I've gone, God, that's brilliant. Like, and looking back at mine, I've done a hell of a lot in my life that I sit and then I do go, oh, let me like be buzzing with it, because she is dead proud. But sometimes I never took that in, how good of things that I done. And it goes back to the things with, obviously, talking about mental health and things. I didn't understand all of that, what I was going through at the time. I was just living in the moment. And sometimes I didn't really celebrate what I was doing on my achievements, what I achieved, until I've got older. Absolutely. Looking back, yeah. But it is good that I do have photos.
Yeah.
But it's not all over social media.
Darlington Operatic Society, I went to go and see Shrek, I think it was about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I was blown away with the setup, everything was amazing.
That was a show that I didn't do.
Yeah.
Because I was off doing all sorts.
Yeah.
So I was so glad I didn't do it, because I got to watch it.
Yeah.
And what a show.
How amazing was it?
I literally sat in there, and I know all of these talented cast members, and it's from the crew to the director. It's one of those where I got the opportunity to go back on stage. I hadn't done bits, I've been just teaching and focused on that. And I didn't know if I would go back out on stage, because sometimes when you're doing professional work and then you move over, and then I was just focusing on teaching, then I got the opportunity to go in, and then I met some of my closest friends in there, like from that first show.
Yeah.
And that totally changed how my life turned as well. Like, it gave me the love to be back on stage and have that passion. And to be honest, like, I say to anyone that comes to Darlington, how amazing is our theatre? Yeah. Like, any performer that I know that do shows, how's amazing our theatre? Yeah. And I've been on it since I was 12 and doing different shows. So then getting the chance to, sometimes I've been doing 2 shows a year with the Operatics. Yeah. They're just incredible, just from the passion. Like, these are amateur, like, performers. There's nothing amateur about them. They are up there with the pros. They all have day jobs. A lot of them are teachers. Yeah. And it just blows my mind. Like, and I know, like, dance is my life, so that's my main focus. Yeah. And then I walk in there and you see a teacher or a doctor belting out these songs, and oh God, it just blows you away. I've had a sneaky peek of their new show. I went and had
Kinky
a look.
Boots? Or has
that's just been made in Dagenham.
Right, okay. Tell us about that. I don't know about
So I'd never seen the show.
Yeah.
So it's about equal rights and equal pay.
Yeah.
The story through the ladies for Ford.
Yeah.
In the car factory.
Yeah.
Just, I didn't realise how I was getting emotional. Didn't I? I was like, just going to be sit down, picket lines. No, the story is incredible.
Yeah.
And just the acting and the singing. I was stood there in the first run through, so it wasn't even as though they'd nailed everything themselves. But to me, I was like, oh my God, I would have paid for that.
Yeah.
And that was them in normal dress and like no set, no nothing.
Yeah.
So it opens next week, so I can't wait because I'm going opening night.
Cool.
Take me mum. My mum comes every night, opening night.
Yeah.
Mum normally goes on her own, opening night to the shows when I'm in them, because then I get straight in the car.
Yeah.
What was I like? So I always get my mum to give me the lowdown first. But I'm taking mum opening night.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
And to say it was a story I totally had no clue about.
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, I missed the show, and I don't like missing shows. And I was like, right, the next one's Jamie. Never seen the movie, know the story, never seen the musical. Do I go for that one now? Then I'm like, God, I'm turning 40 next year, the start of next year. And I was like, see if it's still in my body. But it's just, I think if your heart and your passion's in it, you can do anything.
Yeah. Absolutely. Tell us about Strictly Dance Fever. What's all that about? What's the event that you're running?
Step by step.
Strictly step by step.
Sorry.
I know there's too many Strictlys. I mean,
Apologies.
the link is in there with the Strictly. So obviously, going from my experience on Strictly Dance Fever,
Yes.
it was something that I wanted to set up. This is going back a few years. So the whole story behind looking at the mental health side of things was I lost my auntie, my mum's sister, when I was only 13. And it was all mental health and suicide. And at the time, obviously being at 13, I understood so much, but not really everything. Until I got older. And then I guess just going through things myself and starting to understand it. And then in my 30s, I then went to counselling and did things for myself because I knew I needed to let things out. And I didn't find any shame in admitting that there was something wrong, that I needed to reach out and speak. And I'd speak to like friends, like close friends, and be like, listen, I'm not really in a good place at the minute. And I don't know whether it is like, you know, when you're on a roller coaster and it's up and down, your emotions are all over. Then we go through COVID and you spend a lot of time isolated. But the one thing with me is, I think I learned a lot because my auntie didn't speak out. And then as I got older, to say confident, I want to push the confidence on these students, or I want to be confident on stage. I had to own it that there was something wrong. So I'd done that, and in the last couple of years, just mental health, especially in men, especially in Darlington and the North East, you see all of these posts about people paying tributes to the Friends, and these are young guys, and they're taking their own lives because they didn't want to reach out, or they didn't know where to reach out. And just something happened that I thought, how can I give back? How can I help these local charities? So I'd spoken to my friend Kelly, and I just said, in brief, I want to do a show similar to Strictly. Let's get charities involved. Let's take some guys, put them out the comfort zone, teach them to dance. Let's put an event on. And she was like, I'm in. And I was like, right, good. What do we do next? And then I was like, and she's like, well, what charities are we looking at? I said, I already know the charities. I want to use local charities. I was like, we need to go get a venue. We need to do this. And do you know what? It all fell into place. I've been really lucky that I know a lot of people through the industry, through it. And I think as soon as we've just said who the charities are and what it's for, and my thing was the awareness. Let's raise money. but the awareness, getting it out there. If this can save someone just from taking their life, then I feel like that's the job done. And yeah, we picked the charities, and it just snowballed into this big event. And I keep seeing little sneaky bits of the couples, because there's 5 guys doing it.
So each of the dancers are representing one charity?
One charity, yeah.
Okay.
So the 5 charities have all nominated, or guys put themselves forward. We've then partnered them up with a dance teacher, and then they're going to come together and they're going to compete on the night.
Are they complete novices, or is there?
Yeah. All 5 guys. I mean, I think a couple of them had rehearsals 2 weeks ago, and it was the first time they danced a step, and I was like, oh, the show's coming up really quick.
And it's not like
get practicing, guys.
Here we go.
where they can dedicate basically a whole week to it. They obviously have full-time jobs.
They've got full-time jobs, lives, and obviously the teachers who are teaching them have full-time jobs and like dance studios and things like that. So it's fitting it all in. But it's just really funny, because when you watch Strictly and you see these competitors on the TV and they're losing weight and they're in there and you can see the fitness side. I went to one guy's rehearsals and he was just sweating buckets. He was like, I've only been here an hour. I was like, oh, it's hard work. I said, it's not easy getting up on that stage. I said, this is the hard part. When you're in front of the audience, you just got to enjoy it. I was like, but the one thing we've said to them is obviously everyone that's reaching out for tickets and things like that, they're there to support the event. They're there to support these charities. And to be fair, they're all winners. But it's fun to make it into a bit of a competition. It's going to push them as well, isn't it? So.
And who are the judges?
So we've got a couple of judges we're going to start releasing soon.
Okay.
Because there's a few.
Come on, give us a world exclusive.
There's a few that are coming in. We're just waiting to confirm the actual definitely in there before we launch it. Mr. Peter Barron will be hosting the event.
Former editor of the Northern Echo, for those that are listening.
And he's also the chairman of the Operatics.
Of course.
So he's been to see many shows, which is great. So yeah, we've got singers on, we've got a couple of professional performances on as well. But even on the part when they walk in, there's the red carpet to do, and then we're going to have the actual charities there with their information to give that out.
Lovely.
So it'll be an emotional night, but obviously you've got to with the topic that we're talking about. But then it's going to be fun, because we've got obviously these guys going out there and leaving it all on the dance floor.
Brilliant. And where and when is it, Darrien?
So it's in the Dolphin Centre on Saturday the 9th of November.
Brilliant.
Tickets.
So not long?
No, not long at all. Tickets you can get through our Facebook and Instagram page. So there's all the links are out on there. Strictly step by step. So yeah, doing that. I'm running next week because we're doing a charity run. 4 miles every 4 hours for 24 hours with a run group, Get Up and Run, who are helping like promote what we do. And to be honest, I run in this group when I get the chance, which is another one just about mental health, getting a group of people together, getting out running. They do 4 mile every Saturday morning and then go and have a coffee. And I just think things like that is absolutely brilliant to have.
What's that group called, sorry?
Get Up and Run.
Right.
So it's just different things like that. I think the more groups that are out there, the more it's going to be easier for people to talk. And the less we're going to see on social media of people passing away, which I think is the main thing.
Can you name the charities?
Recovery Connect. Which is one of this year's Mayor's charities. We have George's Mate. We've got Quinn's Retreat. Never Throw Your Towel In.
Andy's Man Club.
Andy's Man Club.
I did my research.
There you go. Put it in there. Yeah, the 5 of them. And they've been brilliant. And the guys have all been really eager to do it. And you can see they're just passionate about the charities that they're supporting, which is really nice. And I think that's what's in their head. Like, I don't care how many people I have to go and dance. I've never danced before in front of all these people, but I'm doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think that's the more important message to get out there.
Yeah. And you're expecting 400 people, did you say?
400 people.
Wow.
We've got space for 400 tickets.
Yeah.
Tickets are already going out. I was there last night going over it, and I was like, brilliant.
Yeah.
So
they're
that's
going out
really
well.
good. Yeah, really good.
Good.
I mean, people are already saying, is this going to be a yearly thing? Are we going to have this? And I was like, let's get the first one out the way. This is our pilot. See how it goes.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's a lot of organising. But I think if you're just passionate about something, then it doesn't feel like work. And this is what's happened. Me and Kelly have just been, we speak every day, going over everything. We've got an amazing team behind it. I have pinched some of the team from the operatics that have come in, because if you know who you're working with, then it works.
Absolutely.
Scott, who's took photos and done all sorts, he's there at the dance festival every year, which is something else that I choreograph in Darlington, which is a massive thing for me. So I was like, Scott, can you jump on this as well, just to throw something else at people? But I get everyone is so busy with their own lives, and obviously made in Dagenham and things like that, but just giving the time up because they believe in what the cause is. So it's been
good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Well done.
So
Absolutely.
there we go.
Very well done. This podcast is about Darlington, our Darlington.
Yeah.
You've been a councillor.
I have.
Yeah. Tell us about your time as a councillor.
It was yeah.
Okay, we'll end the
Different. No, it was, to be honest, I did a lot with, obviously, the dance festival every year, because that's been going, I think, 13 years. Just different community groups. I always took the kids to dance and do different things, or volunteer and things like that. And then someone mentioned, why don't you have a voice? Like, why don't you go for council? And everyone was like, who's this Darrien who's a dancer? Like, who's he? I won my ward. And I was like, oh, right, now I'm a councillor. But I was just really passionate about where I live and keeping it clean and tidy. And then there's Eastbourne Park was in my ward, a little community hub. And I knew that this little community hub could be bigger. And Jesus, that again just is gone huge. And what they do over there, the group at Eastbourne Park Community Hub, especially Claire, the chairperson, just give back to the community. And it's silly things like, I used to enjoy going to get a group of people to Litterbick to make it clean and tidy. Doing the breakfasts on a morning or the events. Instead of doing one event a year, I was like, let's do one a month. Why not? Get the community together. The project, the bread and butter thing, which is saving food from going to landfill, I thought was brilliant because it's not for people who are struggling with money or who are on benefits. It was to save this food from going to landfill. It's perfect food. So that got brought onto the ward. I was like, it's on other wards. Why is it not on my ward? So yeah, some other stuff in council is a bit, I'm glad I'm not there. I'm glad I've done it. Totally glad I've done it. And I feel like, and I can personally say, like, I was proud of myself because I feel like I made a huge difference in the ward. I just wish more councillors would put the time and effort into their ward instead of trying to have a voice in council chambers. Because I think if they all went off and worked together for our town, it would be a better town. I understand there's different parties that are arguing against each other constant. But things like Pride, I got involved in Pride to do that, which is a great event. Community Carnival has been going for years. I danced in it when I was a kid, and I was on that committee. And I remember just standing there. It was a long, long day, but just feeling so proud of what our town has. Again, things like the theatre, just making sure that the theatre was there. Just promoting the town. Like, that was me. I love being from Darlington. I went off and travelled last year for 7 weeks in Australia, and all I did was speak about Darlington and how, like, I'm proud for that I represented our town,
Yeah.
which is a big thing, being on council. Like, I walked into it just passionate about where I lived, but I think that come across with people. But yeah, there's ups and downs to it, that's all I'm going to say. But yeah.
You're pleased with it?
I'm absolutely over the moon I done it.
Yeah.
Just the, like, a lot of people still say to me now, you were brilliant doing that role because you wanted to make a difference, and I feel like you did. And that's coming from, like, councillors from the past to the councillors that are now.
Yeah.
I just feel like I didn't go into it to make a big name for myself. I didn't go into it to say, I'm Darrien Wright, I'm a councillor. I went into it because I'm proud of where I'm from. And I just wish more people, there is councillors in there that do that exact thing, that are so proud about their area and want to push their area. But there's others that I just feel like the limelight a bit too much.
Yeah, doing it for themselves.
Have an ulterior motive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just think there's a lot. They say there's a lot of snakes in there, but that's where I'll leave it.
That's for another episode.
That's for a different episode, yeah.
And on that note, we are about done.
Perfect.
Yeah,
well, thank you very much for having me on.
We've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a
pleasure.
fantastic chat, and very, very good luck. All the very best for the 9th of November.
Perfect.
And if you're doing it next year, Henry said before we went on air he'd love to join.
There we go. Well, we'll have to get that in.
You cut that short, please. Thank you very much indeed.
Brilliant, thank you.